Want to get started, you think?
Yeah, let's get started. So this is Louis Vegas from Superhome. I'm calling in. Great. To talk to you guys about smart home technology.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay the
How's it going, guys? Pretty good?
Excellent.
Is this like you see in the movies where somebody takes over somebody's house and turns the heat on and does this and makes it a whole shit show there in the house?
It's gonna be like Iron Man, Jarvis, flush my toilet. Yeah. Now you just yell at your kids, go shut off the lights. There's no smarts behind that. You just scream at them, scream at your kids, and make them do it. I'm looking forward to it. I have my daughter will be 1 in 2 weeks. So thank you. So I look forward to yelling at her to turn off the lights. Well, in our house we have automated lighting and smart lighting, so she'll probably ask Siri or Alexa to do it or something like that. But yeah, no, we're here to talk about smart home technology. So thank you for the opportunity to come, Brian. And I've been speaking a lot at different brokerages. I did a recent event, for a home inspector. They were doing some smart home technology classes for like continuing education. And so it's becoming a topic now. As a matter of fact, appraisers are now starting to consider smart home technology as in part of their appraised values. I actually spoke with an appraiser directly about this. Now, this is not something we saw, 5-10 years ago. This was not a thing. But now it's starting to be factored in. So, and I find that people buying houses today, I mean, what generation do we find like buying houses today? Like the millennials, the Gen Zers are starting to buy houses. They're kind of coming into that age where they're starting to be homeowners. Well, they use their phone for everything, and they kind of come to expect that there's something there. Like there's a doorbell, there's a smart thermostat, and you probably see them when you show houses today. I know sometimes real estate agents give each other some tips like, don't have conversations out on the front porch because the video doorbell could be out there, right? Okay, so we're experiencing this already. Like this is not something that's like new and like, oh, I have to learn all this tech. It's here. It's almost in every house. Billions and billions of dollars in products sold in this particular arena, and you're just going to find it every single place you go in every single house. They'll have some piece of technology there. So today, yeah, we're just going to talk and have fun. If you guys have questions about what's out there, just so we can educate you. So when you go into a home, you kind of can say, okay, I know what this is, or I'm sort of aware of what that is. So yeah, we can kind of jump in. This is a forecast in consumer spending. So, as I mentioned, billions of dollars spent in smart home technology. People are buying the Amazon Alexas and the Ring doorbells and, the floodlight cameras and that kind of thing. It's endless. There's products coming to market every single day. There's tons of stuff that you can do to automate your home. And so this is just the trend. They anticipate that by 2028, that it's going to go up to $231 billion in revenue and smart home products sold. That's not a small number. So it's like we think kitchens and bathrooms sell houses, right? That's the common thing. But now we're starting to see that there's a lot more that's factored in, that when homeowners come to visit a home, they're looking for certain amenities. That's kind of the point that we're getting at here. They're looking for home security systems. They're looking for the smart thermostat, so when they're away on vacation, they can make sure that they're not running the heat or the air conditioning. They're looking to make sure, because I'm very forgetful, so a lot of times I'll forget to lock the front door or something, and I just know I can go hit a button and know that it's locked, and know and being confirmed that it's locked. Same thing with the garage. You've ever left the garage open or something, you forget, I left it, I'm late, I don't have time to go back. Go open your phone. Did I leave it open? Oh no, I did close it. I can see right here, and the camera is showing me that the garage is also closed. You see how like the convenience factor starts to factor in your everyday life, and you don't realize how beneficial it is to you until you start to use it. So, a lot of money being spent. It's come to be an expectation today. So that's really the kind of the crux of this conversation, is understanding how pivotal it's going to be in the next 5 to 10 years as it starts to scale up and things start to happen, like the technology can do more things, and you can control more of the house. So just something to think about. So 46% of consumers believe it is important that their current home or their next home be equipped with smart home technology. I actually have some cool data. This is a study here with ERA Real Estate and HGTV did a little study. Coldwell Banker actually did a lot of research polling homeowners to see what types of things they'd be interested in. So I have some information on that as well. 57% of Americans say that smart home tech have saved them time, 30 minutes per day. Again, that goes, I left the garage open, I left the front door open. It's so-and-so leave a package at the front door. All of these things that like we don't realize that technology is actually solving, and it kind of plays into the whole smart home and smart technology world. It's there and we're using it. We just don't realize how big of a part of everyday life it is. 45% of Americans say that a smart home product save them money, sometimes an average of $100 per month. And what ways would you guess, if you had to take a wild guess on some ways that smart home technology or smart real estate technology could save you money? Lights and heat, big one. I mean, that's how can technology in real estate and a property save you money? In what ways do you think could it save you some money? Light and heat's a big one. Lighting and heating, yeah. So, of course, air conditioning, heat, air conditioning, light. Anything else?
I save it on my cable.
Theft. We don't think about that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You figure, like your internet cost, your electric bill, right? So electric bill kind of falls into the lighting, but it's not just lighting. It could be other things. Leaving the TVs on, leaving other devices on in the home. So we can actually control a lot of devices in the home now using smart home technology in a very cost-effective way, which in turn saves you money. So, you have a question there? I saw so gears turning there.
I mean, I'm trying to think. $100 a month in savings. That's considering what the utility bills are. That's a significant percentage of what my average utility, my mortgage, utility bill. That's like a third of my current Pico bill.
It's a lot of money, and I mean, especially over here, at $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year savings. How about things like you mentioned, Brian, like a security system, a burglar system for theft, things like that. That's obviously costing you money. So by having security in place, you're protecting your assets. That's another way. Another way people actually don't realize is water. So not just in your personal residence, but in real estate investments. So let's say you have an investment property and you had a leak. Maybe the toilet's running. Maybe a pipe busted, right? You don't know. You're not there. So how could you tell that you have a leak problem or a water issue? Well, we have smart water sensors that can detect a leak. So if you have a leak in your basement, it'll tell you immediately that there's a leak, send you an email, push notification to your phone, whatever kind of message you want, and that can alert you to help stop a big incident from happening.
But will it shut off the water?
You can.
That's
You
the
can.
next step.
You can do that. Yes, there are not only detectors, but there's also technology you can put on the water valves themselves that will actually turn off the water when it detects that there's a high usage. So it's not only checking for leaks, but it's checking for usage. This is an abnormal amount of usage coming through this pipe. It's got a sensor. And then it's crazy, right? It's really, really cool. So it's monitoring the water pipe, and then if it detects that there's a water leak or too much water exiting the system, it can actually trigger the valve to turn. There's a motor that you can put on the valve, and it will turn it. But that happens without you doing anything. That is where we start to see automation, property technology really play a big role in savings and prevention from disasters and things like that. So an investment property, it's a really, really big one. Yes?
Yeah, I had like about a $25,000 leak in the basement, a finished basement from a water leak. And now I actually have ring cameras in my utility room that show the sump pump, the hot water heater, the heater, and things, just because I want to always just look at it, just make sure everything's okay.
So you've experienced this firsthand. I'm a real estate investor as well. I have investment properties. If you have an investment property, you've probably come across a water leak at some point. And so I've experienced the same thing, having a leak in the basement. I have a very fun story. Did you have a question? Saw your hand kind of going up. Yeah.
So I unfortunately had to have a new water heater put in a
Yeah.
few months ago, and they put a tray under it
Mhm.
with a sensor and an alarm,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have a basement. And they told me that if anything, like if there was any water detected, it shuts the water off.
Yeah.
The whole house.
Yeah.
So that would be like that, right?
It is. That's smart real
I
estate
didn't get
technology.
ripped off.
No, I think that's a great feature, especially because when the water heater goes.
It's on your first floor, if it's on your,
It's on my first floor.
Oh, even crazy. Yeah, that's even more.
it's even a bigger night.
Even bigger nightmare. Even bigger nightmare. So, I mean, this is real estate technology. We think of like, Iron Man and iPads on the walls and all that stuff. And yes, can it do that? Yes. Can we?
That's what
Yes.
I want the cool stuff.
Yes.
I don't care if it works or not. I just want to walk up and boop, boop, and they feel like it's cool.
Me too. Me too. I love it. And that's kind of how I started. So yeah, can we put iPads on the walls and tablets and screens and things like that? Of course. Can we use voice-activated assistants and Alexas and Siris? And yes, of course we can. But simple things like that, that's technology working in your home to save you money. So, and prevent disasters. I have one fast, quick story for you. Real estate investment situation, duplex, Airbnb, beautiful renovation, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars spent in this renovation. I mean, beautiful property in Philadelphia, 15th and South Streets, okay? Real estate investor, he's making it an Airbnb, has laundry for the second floor unit, okay, upstairs in its own closet. Just so happens that also in that closet is the PEX manifold, which is all the PEX water lines, the plastic water lines that they use now, that you've probably seen them in red and blue lines going into the new homes. So those lines will all go into a manifold, which is kind of like your water controller, and that would happen to be in the laundry room. So we just got done outfitting this entire property with technology. Beautiful property. I mean, I'm talking about like hardwood floors, and I mean, just everything was really, really nice. And we put in Wi-Fi design. We did Wi-Fi design for him, so Wi-Fi was great. We did smart locks, we did cameras, we did thermostats, we did sensors on the doors, and we also did water sensors. Okay, so 2 days after we did this installation, he sends me a text message with a screenshot from his email, and it says a water leak was detected in the laundry room. And he says, hey, and this is 2 days after we installed, so he's very new. We haven't even done our training yet. We just did the installation. And he's like, hey, Lewis, is this real? And I said, I hope not. I hope it's not real. But chances are, I mean, we did put the technology in there for a reason. Can you believe that literally they just finished their renovation, leak at the PEX manifold, sent the plumber out, they found the leak there, and obviously stopped the leak. Can you imagine the amount of money and damages that would have happened should that leak have gotten worse? This is the type of thing that we're talking about with not only using technology to have fun, like I do. I love to have fun and use technology for those things. But let's think about the practical reasons why it can help to save you money. And this is what we need to be teaching homeowners and people who are buying, that, hey, there's a lot of stuff out here that you're buying a new home, especially first-time home buyers, because they don't know what they're getting into. Everybody knows who's ever bought a house is like, the second you buy a house, you own the problems that are going to eventually come along with it, with a roof or whatever it might be. So educating them and letting them know, hey, there's technology available out there. You can even have it be a part of your security system. So it's not just an alarm system you have in your home. Now it's expanded out into a smart home. And you can use other pieces of technology and bundle it with your security system to give you that kind of experience. So hopefully that was helpful so far. Everybody good so far? Cool. All right. So here's some more stats for you. 81% of buyers indicate that they'd be more likely to buy a home if smart technology, if smart products were already installed. Now, I know this is actually the case, even though CNET and Coldwell Banker did the study and did the surveys. I know it is the case personally from firsthand experience because we do smart homes. We build smart homes. So we work with builders and implement the technology. And we know that they're selling it with the house, so it's already smart when it's sold. And we also help on the kind of the back end. So we manage their alarm if they want. We do trainings and all kinds of fun stuff to make sure that they're capable, because it can be fun, but it can also be confusing sometimes. So I know that this is actually the case, that people are looking for the technology. If you have two houses on the same street and they're both for sale and they both have updated kitchens and bathrooms, right? Maybe they have an even similar layout. If you guys ever come across this scenario in the neighborhood, you might have two similar homes. So it's like, well, this one has a nicer yard maybe. And so now they start getting into the finer things. Imagine if one of them was already equipped with smart home technology. Well, this has a security system built in, so that's for safety. This one has water sensors in it, so if you ever have an issue with a water heater, it'll detect it for you. This has smart lighting, which is a big one. The smart lighting is a really, really big one. The kids love the kind of smart lighting. My nieces and nephew love the colorful lights I have in my house. I can control it from my phone, my iPad, or whatever. But it saves you money. It actually helps with productivity as well. Do you know what color light is actually better for you to focus? What color light? It's actually the opposite. Warm is better for relaxing. But you're correct in the sense of the warmer and the bluer, cooler lights actually have a direct impact on your your productivity. So when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? You open the curtains, let the natural light in, right? Because that natural sunlight actually helps to wake you up. At night, you don't want blazing blue light. You want nice warm tones because that's what helps you to relax. So lighting actually plays another role into it. So these are some of the things that they're coming to expect. The smart thermostats are another example of that. So these are the things we want to be paying attention to and learning about. Just a closer look. Ecobee, you've probably heard of it. They're a thermostat company. They have smart thermostats that are fantastic. I have them in my home. We put them in properties all the time. An average of 23% savings on your heating and cooling bill. Yeah, sometimes.
I don't have.
Sometimes they do. There's also a module called the PEK module that you can use to help provide power, or you can add a transformer to the doorbell locally. So like sometimes it's above an outlet. You can honestly just run a wire and get it plugged in there and provide that C wire, because the C wire is just for power. Yeah. So all you need is a power line. It's low voltage. It's not a big deal. So we can solve for stuff like that. But they're great. Ecobee has a really great platform. A lot of analytics, a lot of data behind it, and it really gives you a bird's eye view of what's going on with your heating and cooling in your home. Insurance companies offer discounts on security systems. Did you guys know that? So some do, some don't. But some insurance carriers will actually, for professionally monitored systems, which means there has to be that police dispatch involved. So if they're
usually fire too.
Yeah, police, fire, exactly. So if there's an alert, it goes to the police dispatch. Those types of systems that are monitored actually can qualify for an insurance discount. This is, again, savings again, using technology to give you some savings in your home. And then occupancy sensors to help you control lighting, which is interesting. The traditional way of doing it is the light itself has its own sensor on it, but that's limited to that one location and that one switch. Now we can put occupancy sensors in different parts of the home, so if it doesn't recognize you, walking in through the garage, then it knows for 2 hours, then it knows that nobody's been here for a while or nobody's come and gone. So there's some very specific instances where you can use tech to kind of monitor that stuff. So are you looking to sell more homes? Who is? I mean, everybody's hand goes up, right? We hope everybody's hand will go up. So as more and more people are becoming privy to it, it's really helping to change that buyer's mindset, because it's just something that's available today. Do you guys do any real estate investing? Do you have? Did you say you had an investment? Okay, you do a little bit. Cool. Big. So we work a lot with investors right now. I mean, tons. I'm doing, I think, 60 units coming up soon in the next 90 days. I have that are all contracts that we're doing smart technology in multifamily apartment buildings. Have you ever gone to an apartment building and seen the touchscreen outside? Or you seen like the little buzzer system outside when you go to a multifamily? This is real estate technology. We don't realize that it is, but it's part of it. 60% of residents want mobile app-based access. What does that mean? Well, they can use their phone, go up to the intercom, use their phone, and get access to the building. They can also give access to dog walkers and cleaners, other people that you might want to, have access to the property. Maybe a guest, the mom's coming over to make dinner, whatever you want, right? Mom's coming to hang out, dad's coming to hang out. You get to, let them in, but you don't have to be home because you're at work. So you can kind of buzz them in from your phone. 63% of residents would move out of an apartment with poor security. This is another survey. So this is big. Do you have security cameras at your property? Do you have lockable, front doors that are secure? These are things that are really important to tenants. 57% would pay more for security cameras and keyless entry. 80% of millennials are willing to pay about 20% more for a smart apartment. Now think about that. Now your rents get to go up simply by having an amenity. I just had a conversation yesterday with a real estate investor who's got 12 units in a building. He's like, I want to raise my rents a bit, but I want to kind of give some pizzazz, not only just freshen the paint and the appliances, but I want to add a little bit of some keyless access feature to, bring some differentiator in the market. And so we're talking about ways to do that so he can increase his rents. Direct proportion to investing in the technology and getting a return on your investment. So, any questions about that? No? Cool.
How do you do a keyless entry?
Yeah, so you'll probably see it now when you go to a house and you have a keypad on the door.
Has one, but
You have a keypad on the door, like a lot of the deadbolts have keypads on them. A lot of them are not smart though. So they're just local, you set the code, and now that's keyless entry. That's on the base sense. But what we do is we can actually automate all the deadbolts. So they're all in a software platform that you control from your phone. And if a tenant moves out, you go to that tenant's name in the list, you hit generate new code, it erases the old code, and that's it. Now you're ready for the next person to move in. And that property, that is now secure. No keys to cut, no locks to change. You never have to go to the property. Now we're talking savings because now I don't have to drive there. Maybe I live 45 minutes away. You see how this starts to compound? Just from your phone, boop, make one little change and now the property is secure.
So how secure, my wife would like to think of this, especially with like cameras, all the, how secure are they really? If you figure, especially if it's over Wi-Fi. I mean, Wi-Fi is not a non-hackable thing.
That's true.
So, geez, or like we're going to this hotel on this conference, and they all have the keyless enter the door. What stops someone who just knows a little bit of what they're doing to, oh yeah, I can get into that any door I want because people are hacking your credit cards. Why not your?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great concern, and that's a great question. And the ways that we kind of get around that is just using technologies that we know have really good encryption on them. They're not easily, like the radio signals and the signals that are transmitted to the lock are not easily hackable. They have, a lot of these pieces of technology have unique keys, meaning unless, when I set it up, if you're trying to set up the lock or get access to the lock, in order to actually control the lock, you need the code that the lock has. If you don't have the code and you don't exchange that key, you can't actually make changes to the lock. So a lot of technology now has that kind of integration, has that encryption built in so that you can feel a little bit more comfortable that it's secure. But is everything going to be 100% perfect? No. I mean, you could have somebody that just has special technology to connect to the network and make kind of intercept the Wi-Fi password, for example. It's definitely possible. We just try to put things in place like complex passwords and extra layers of encryption to prevent that. But I mean, is everything foolproof? No. I mean, somebody could walk by and pickpocket your hotel key when you're walking by, lift your wallet right out of your pants and take, so there's like, nothing's 100%, but we do our best by making sure we're using technologies that we know have encryption and have security kind of built into it. So that's kind of where you talk to me. You say, Lou, I want to make sure this stuff's secure. Like, I don't want to, and so we figure out the best ways to do it and the best products in the market. Because let's face it, and I talked about this with Brian, most of the stuff that's on the network is junk. I mean, on the market is junk, right? Most of the technology that you can find on Amazon, the cheap little camera, it's $15. Most of that stuff is junk. So how do you filter out all that nonsense and find the good quality stuff that you're going to not only have a great experience, but feel that it's very secure? That's where I come in. I've already done the research. I've spent thousands of hours looking at what's available, what's on the market, and I can kind of help you come to that conclusion. Make sure you're getting the right stuff. So, yeah.
Can you put a keyless entry on a sliding door?
Yes, you can.
Even if there's no lock on it?
Well, I mean, I guess. I guess you could. There are locks that are very, very skinny that are kind of just have one like latch on them. I don't know that on a door that's not like really meant for that. Could you probably manufacture it away? Yes. We don't typically do that. The door has to have some type of access, either to mortise style lock, the double bore lock, so you have a deadbolt and a handle, or just has a single bore handle as well.
Not to digress, but that's the funny thing. I have a few friends who are former military, and they're like, the average American-built door frame, he's like, there's not a lock on earth that's going to keep you out. If you kick through the door frame is simply wood.
Yeah.
So it's like you do all these things to have a secure lock that opens up with, and if someone really wants to get in, they're going to kick it down. They're not built to withstand, like, that's not how our homes are built.
100%, yeah.
In this country, anyway.
Yeah, you can do only but so much. I mean, there's other things that you can do to extra layers,
doors,
steel. They have, they even have like smart kind of like, well, they have them that are analog, meaning not smart and smart, but they're kind of door stoppers. And they go at the bottom of the door, and it creates a little lip. You've probably seen them, and you can do it manually. We just kick it open, and you just kick it up, and it creates like a little lip on the door, so that if it's trying, if somebody's trying to push through it, it gets caught there. They have them smart as well, where it can be tied into your alarm system and things like that. So yeah, I mean, nothing's foolproof, just like anybody can steal your wallet. We just do the best that we can and just try to take as much steps as we can to just make sure we're as secure as possible. So, cool. Awesome. Let me make sure that, I just want to make sure that I'm still rolling. Cool. All right. All right. So, and we'll keep this cool. I think we got like another 10, 15 minutes or so. So what can I do with a smart home? We talked a lot about what we can do so far. Let's take a little bit step further. All right. Lights, thermostats, locks, cameras, and other devices, all from your mobile device. Scenes and triggers. Does anybody know what a smart home scene is? So a scene is a collection of events that happen with a push of one button. Now, give me a scenario where you'd want to push one button and multiple things happen at the same time. What would you want to happen in your house? If you push one button, I want it to do what?
Unlock my door and turn the lights on inside.
Exactly. That could be called I'm home. That could be a scene called I'm home. You hit one button, and honestly, it can happen without you even pushing the button. We have something else called a geofence, which is the next bullet point in that list. A geofence is literally a virtual fence around your home where your phone knows your GPS location. And the second that you go into that perimeter that you've set, now you can set the boundary. How far out do you want it? 1 mile, 3 miles, 5 miles. When you go into that range, the home knows, oh, I'm actually coming, she's approaching, coming home soon. It will trigger the scene. So let's say you want it really, really tight. So as soon as I pull up to the house, then I pull into the garage, that's when it happens. So that this way you're not unlocking your front door when you're 5 miles away, right? We want to be smart about how we program this stuff, but it's very simple to do. So you can say when, my garage door opens only during this time and I'm home, I want you to unlock my front door and turn on my lights. And I want you to play music. But I want you to turn on the lights only in certain rooms, not in every room, And I like to do stuff like this. Like I automate my lights and the color of my lights depending on what time of day it is. So I know when it's 2 hours before sunset because my lights automatically come down to a warm, soft tone. They go down to a certain brightness level, so only 60%, not 100%, because now we're winding down for the evening. So my lights automatically do that. And then I think, I forget where we have it, at maybe like 9:30, my bedroom lights come on. And they come on very dim, very warm. It's only my light strip behind the TV that comes on and a lamp. So we don't have the recessed lights going on. It's just certain elements because we want that ambiance that we're creating. We have a tagline. It's don't just live in your home, experience it. And you can see by doing small things like this how your home actually becomes an experience. The music comes on soft, your favorite playlist that you like when you walk into the house. These are things that we want our house to kind of greet us. We want to have an experience there. It's not just a place we lay our head. This is a place where we do all kinds of things with family, and we have so many memories there. Let's make the house fun. Let's make it a place that's comfortable for us, and we can really, really impact that using technology, especially with lighting.
So real quick, I didn't plan this. I just scheduled a showing for Delaware County. This is from the listing agent. Please ring the doorbell for Fred, or he's probably a Ring doorbell or camera. There are cameras in the property and the Ring camera at the front door. The home has an alarm which the owner will turn off from his phone, but you will need to notify them by ringing the doorbell.
Yes.
I literally just scheduled that 5 minutes ago.
It's here. It's everywhere. I have a house on the market right now. It's a flip that we did, and I have a security system in there. It's part of the home. I actually have control of 2 of the main lights. I have a video doorbell in the front, and I have the alarm system and a smart thermostat. I'm having, we're on the contract now, thankfully, but I was having showings all the time. I have codes specifically for my realtor. I have a code specifically for any contractor that comes to do repairs. Maybe, we have an inspection, so now we have some repairs. They're not using the same code as my realtor. So that means that when that person goes in through the keypad lock, I know that the contractor went because they use that code. I didn't get it confused between the real estate agent showing up to do a showing and the inspector being there because I have separate codes for everybody. So I know who's coming and going. I know what time the door was unlocked. I know what time it was locked. I know how long it's been unlocked for. I have all this information about the property. I know if they left my heat on too high. The inspector came in, testing all the heat. He left it up on high. I know. I can actually go and see my thermostat right from my phone and pull it up and see the entire state of the house. And then I have one button, which is a scene, that I can hit at any time, locks the door, turns off all the lights, and lowers the thermostat all at once.
And you're using them on the house yourself.
Yeah, on the house I'm selling. And then when I sell the house, we have it on like a demo account right now. When I sell the house, we can wipe the account and set it up on a brand new account that's only locked to that homeowner, and then we can establish service for them.
That's pretty interesting.
So
Yeah.
there's a paragraph, is it near the agreement of sale or listing contract, which that talks about exactly that notion that all these new smart home devices, not only do they exist, but that the seller of a home must cut them all off, and the buyer has to beware of the fact that if something's like forgotten, there might be a camera that is still linked to the seller's cell phone. It's crazy to imagine.
You see that.
Oh yeah, it's as in a couple of years ago, it's a whole new paragraph in our contracts about it.
This is what I'm saying. This stuff is here. This is not like I said, Iron Man and we're in the future. It's already part of the contracts, for goodness sake, that this is already here. So we need to be educated about it and realize how important it's going to be not only for the new people buying a home, but people selling a home too, because they could be, somewhat liable for leaving things, So we want to try to protect ourselves as much as possible, but I'm providing a great experience for myself right now. I can let anybody into the property anytime I want, no lockbox, no keys, nothing's lost. And then I know who's coming and going. If the haul out guy came to take trash out and he made a mess in the front of the property, I have a video clip of him coming and leaving all that stuff, So it makes us more efficient, especially as investors or people selling a home, and it provides a greater experience for everybody else,
From the point of view of your company, not
Yeah.
If someone has this in their home that you've solved and they sell the home and move, and they want to do it again, do you hit them up for full price second time? Is there anything they can take with them, or is it all, built into the walls and this and the other?
Yeah, so a lot of times it's part of the home, and so they're selling it. If they want to just get the new stuff that came out, maybe the system's been there 5 years, they want to upgrade anyway, we'll put the new stuff in their new home. But yeah, there are cases that we can actually move the system if they wanted to, and move it to their new home. And then I have partnerships, not only just internally because I'm an alarm company myself. Think of me as like an ADT. I'm actually my own company. We provide the products, the support, and the installation. But I have third-party partners also that we work with. So if they want to move the system, it won't cost them anything to do that. So I have a lot of different ways I can help people. I'm kind of like a Swiss Army knife of smart home tech. From multifamily to residential to if you want to go with a national company, if you want to go small with me. I have a lot of people actually prefer. I'd actually go with you directly. I don't want to work with ADT or some of the other big brands because I want to know somebody's local that I can talk to. So I can help out in a lot of those ways. But yes, the answer is yes, we can absolutely do that. So, all right, cool. Moving on. This is kind of what you would think a smart home looks like. You got your home, it's connected on Wi-Fi. Maybe it's not on Wi-Fi. There are different technologies out there we could talk about. These are some of the categories. Did any of these categories surprise you at all? That you're shocked that there's actually that there's technology for this? Any of these shock you, or are you surprised by any of them?
Sprinklers and faucets is
That's cool, right?
but it's kind of neat. Yeah.
Any other ones? We talk about cameras and doorbells. We know that. How about fans? Did you guys know that you can control your fans from your phone? Yes,
Anything electronic, you can
pretty much.
essentially.
We can actually retrofit almost any light switch and any ceiling fan to become smart, even if it's an existing old ceiling fan.
Like putting an Amazon stick into an old TV.
Yeah, basically, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, there's a lot of different categories. I can control my TV from my phone on and off, change the inputs, all that stuff is available. The thermostats, the switches, outlets, you can make outlets smart. You can actually plug in a fan that's not a fan or a light that's not smart. You plug it into that outlet. Now you can control that non-smart device from power on and off from that outlet. So yeah, there's very many cool ways that you can automate stuff. Humidifier, I have humidifier and air purifiers in my home. I know when the air quality goes low in my daughter's bedroom, it tells me that the air quality's dropped below a certain amount, whatever we're cooking or something. The smoke Yeah, and you get alerts, and it can automatically trigger other things to happen where other parts of the home, the air purifiers kick on and things like that. So there's a lot of cool ways just for convenience and health and safety. Smoke alarms, carbon monoxide, like all these important parts of the home can all be smart. So you can have visibility on what's happening. If you have a fire and you're not home, you can actually get an alert the smoke detector went off. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do to be aware of what's happening. Platforms and technology. Let me get back over here. These are just some of the protocols. You've heard of Wi-Fi before. You've probably heard of Bluetooth before. I'm guessing you haven't heard of Z-Wave, Zigbee, Matter, and Thread. You've heard of Z-Wave? Good.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
It's like Wi-Fi, but it doesn't have to be connected to the internet. It's like a local radio.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So Zigbee's the exact same thing. Have you guys ever heard of Philips Hue lights? They run off of Zigbee radios. It's just a little radio inside of a device. That's all it is. It's just broadcasting a signal, but it's local. It's encrypted. It has its own keys and